Hi there folks, welcome back to my tutorials. In this one I want to cover something a bit different. I want to go over some basic character modeling and just some basic techniques that you should be aware of whenever you're modeling a character. Now this will be covered in 3D Max. I have a basic character already kind of started here. It's not much yet. This guy still has to go through a lot of different processes. But I want to focus on just a few things that you should be aware of whenever you are doing this. The first thing to be aware of is that your character has to have a pretty strong model here. If you look at my model here, it's okay. It's not the best. What you could be doing really to kind of really make things happen here is that you got to make sure that everything here is pretty much a quad. If you have a triangle, I have a triangle here. If you have a couple of triangles, it's not going to kill you. But try to stay away from all the triangles and the five-sided shapes. You want to have quads kind of throughout the entire thing here. And one more thing that you want to be aware of is that you want to have an equal distance between each section here. If you look at this right here, this vertex right here is kind of inside there, and I want to kind of pull this out. Your model's going to have to be pretty smooth the whole way around, so each vertex here to kind of make sure you are doing the right thing with it. And really, that's basically, it to be mostly aware of whenever you're doing character models is to make sure that your model here is pretty nice. Make sure that all of your vertices here and all of your edges are in the right spaces here. And some cool tips here is I'm going to go to my edge selection here. I'm going to pick my edges down here. And with your edges here, you want to make sure that they are connected to a different edge. So basically, whenever you ring or you loop these, they have connecting edges here. So if I ring this here, you'll see that I have a ring that goes all the way around this leg right here. And if I go and I loop this, I'm pretty sure to follow the whole way around the character there as well. So you see how that loop is going like there? So you may have some areas that don't have many areas here. Like, see, this is kind of going right here. It's because it looks like one of these vertices here is kind of interrupting that process there. So I can just control and click that and just do another loop there, and that'll connect the whole thing there. So same thing here with these is make sure that like the head goes the whole way around there. Again, this right here is causing some trouble there. I gotta connect this somewhere too. But a lot of the times you'll be working with this, you want to make sure that you have a pretty solid model, okay? Especially when it comes down here, when you got to subdivide things. I want to subdivide this part of this leg to kind of give some more dimension to it. So I'm going to pick that edge there, ring that around, and then I want to connect this. Under my edit vertices here, I can connect that, and that'll create some more divisions there. So same thing down here, I want to ring this, connect this again, as I get down there eventually. And once I have that, I'll be able to kind of add some more dimension to this leg, give it more of a human shape and everything. And I've been kind of editing this thing here for a bit. One thing to be aware of is that there's a triangle right here. That's not too bad at all. That's fine. As long as your mesh is okay, like there's not too much of a distortion there, you should be okay with it and stuff. But one thing to be aware of is I've been kind of cutting this thing up the whole day. Is whenever you have a mesh here, and you have any kind of shadow distortions, like if you can see this right here, there's a dark shadow here with a light shadow, and there really isn't any reason for it, you want to check to make sure that all of your vertices are basically connected to each other. So if I pick these vertices here, you'll see that even though I have this, just that when they're selected, I have two vertices there selected. So I got to make sure that I got to pick them both. So let me just grab one of these, move it over here. And as you can see, there's a lot of weirdness going on there. I want to make sure that this is different. Okay? And then to connect these two, just right click on the one and do a target weld. And that will connect these both so that now, whenever I do this, it's just one vertex right there. And whenever you cut things up, you want to make sure that you check all of your vertices and just kind of go around there and kind of check them all. Just not every time, but check them often to make sure that you have enough differences there and everything. So with this one right here, what I may do is actually just cut this up here and kind of have it going down there. And the way I cut this up is I would just go to my cut tool right there, and then just keep on cutting this until going in here. I would eventually just kind of cut this the whole way around the body, or connect it to a point that's on the back that doesn't have a connecting point. So maybe there's something wrong with this mesh here, but anyway, it'll work out in the end. Also, one thing to be aware of whenever you're doing modeling is that you want to have reference points. What I have here is I have these muscular anatomical drawings here, and these are kind of good for you to kind of look around and kind of see exactly where you should be kind of having your muscles here, and just the basic shape of the human body, of the torso, especially of these abs here, and of the neck. Notice that we have 8 abs, not just 6 abs. Most people forget these bottom 2 right there, so having an anatomically correct model is probably the most important thing here. I have the front and I have the back here as well. But in addition to having this, it's always good to have pictures of different kind of characters here. I have pictures of just guys here, and just kind of pictures of all the muscles here and everything. So if you ever have to do like a character there, it's always great to have pictures of eyes, different kinds of emotions. It's a very important part there. So have guys and females. And just making sure that you have enough pictures to satisfy your basic needs is the most important part of character modeling, because you can't model much of anything without a good reference point. So making sure you have enough characters here of the stomach line, of the shape of the legs, and everything else, it's a very important thing. So back here again. So those are the basics of character modeling. Just make sure that all of your edges and your vertices have a home. Just make sure that these are going to go and loop around somewhere, so that'll loop around the entire model there. Notice right here, I got to move this vertice over, and this model here needs a lot of work, but that's part of the process, is just to kind of go through and seeing what you need to be doing. And modeling can't be done in a very short time. Modeling takes a lot of time to get the right model down. So